When I was younger, singing and dancing and things weren't so much as a career choice. And all I can really remember at a really young age is being able to socialise with other kids like me, learning different things like dancing, and it was almost like another sort of play school when I was that age. I never really looked at it as performing. Well, because I'm mixed, I'm quarter Filipino, quarter Chinese and half Irish, which everyone's like, oh yeah, that's a really interesting mix. But I grew up with both, you know, my mum's Irish and English, so I grew up with, like, you know, English culture, as well as my dad bringing the Filipino culture with the dancing and the singing and things. So I think it's made me quite open-minded being mixed cultural, because I learned all different ways of living as well, you know, going to the Philippines and seeing my family, how they live, and like, you know, the good parts of the Philippines and also the not so good parts. Whilst I was in the Philippines, we went to a street children's centre where street children can go and play, learn music, how to read and write, about businesses and things like that, and just somewhere that they can escape from the streets. And I remember they were my age, and I was talking to them about it, and they had nowhere to go but that place, and I couldn't imagine having a life like that. And I think that's the first time I was really exposed to how different life is. Well, the first, I think, ever performance I did there was when I was 6 years old. I went on a beauty pageant, which was aired on the most popular TV channel, which was Channel 2 on ABS-CBN, and it was called Monting Monsieur. I was 6 years old, and I didn't speak much Filipino, and yeah, I didn't think I'd win or anything, and I sang My Boy Lollipop, which was at the time my sort of competition song. My dad decided to, you know, to put a band together because we could all sing and things, with the Ice Ollies, and we went and did a mall tour, and oh, I absolutely loved that because we saw different parts of the Philippines. Mainly, it was mainly in Manila, but it was nice to see all different faces and people, and the support though there is just amazing. Like, there's so much love there, and everyone is so open about things, about music and people, and being from a different place, they're so much more interested as well, you know, to know what you do there, and like, they love the English accent and things like that. So I really enjoy performing there. That side of my life very private to my friends. Like, my family and my uncles and aunties all knew, but my friends didn't really know. They knew I sang and things. I used to sing in their choirs and Christmas shows and things like that, but they never really knew the extent of what I did. And I think that's how I sort of maintained my friendship with a lot of people. And also, like, I was quite lucky because I went to after school sort of theatre school called Myra Tiffin's, which is in Stony Stratford, and Mrs Willard's as well, which is in Old Wolverton, and I made really close friends there as well. I'm quite a sociable person, so when I did go to, like, competitions and things, there was people my own age, so I used to socialise, and then I started to notice as you go to, like, different competitions, you'd meet the same people. So I made really good friends through competitions. I mean, Lydia White, who's one of my friends at Erdang now, and she went to Sylvia's as well, so I spent a few years at Sylvia's with her. And yeah, we're really good friends, and I knew her from when I was about 6, like, starting competitions, and we had no idea that we'd end up being at the same college together now. Same with Nathan Sykes. I knew him when I was 8, and we went to Sylvia's together, and that like, you know, you never thought. And also LMA Sanyo is one of my best friends as well. And yeah, so, like, you know, I made lifelong friends with them through competitions. So as a child, I think making friends was quite alright. I think all my friends were very funny. I think, especially at Sylvia's, we're all quite comical. You know, we had a whole class full of big personalities, and there was always comical moments and someone terrorising the teacher, or, you know, someone cracking a joke, or, you know, like being in a school like that, there was never a dull moment. I mean, it's probably the loudest schools you'll ever go to. I mean, it was always crowded, always so many people. We were like a huge big family. I mean, everyone knew each other from like year 6 to year 11. Everyone knew each other, and rumours would go around like that, and gossip would go around like in seconds, even though it just happened. You know, everyone would know about it by the next break, and it was such a nice atmosphere to have at, like, you know, it's a secondary school, because I remember after, you know, being in primary school thinking, my gosh, the secondary schools are huge, but Sylvia's had that nice intimate feeling. You know, the classes weren't too big and everyone was in the same sort of frame of mind. We were all in the same hobbies and things, and all had, like, you know, that bubbly personality, and all had different characters. And like what my parents have done, I think that's like the biggest sacrifice as a family we've had to make. I mean, my dad lives in Milton Keynes and works, and then my mum now lives in London with me during the week and works in London, and I think that was quite hard in the beginning, you know, commuting every weekend and not really seeing Dad properly, and, you know, being disconnected as a family. It's you know, quite hard, and I think that's quite a big sacrifice that we've all made as a family.